Alrighty, well, I have rebuilt the system. This is almost the third incarnation of said system. Yeah, we try to set it all up under the table here, and yeah, she turned all into a bit of a drag, to be quite honest, because because China. Yeah, basically, long story short is you've got a cover on the front of this pump that you can take off, and I didn't even realise you could take it off initially, and it'll take you right into the guts of the actual pump. And the O-ring on, like, you can use it as a submersible, but it's got an actual, like a 3/4 inch, like a 19mm fitting that you can whack on there. Is it? Yeah, 19-20mm, it's 3/4 inch fitting anyway, on the front. You can hook a pipe onto it, or you can use it as a submersible. You can just drop the thing in the water because it's a sealed engine. So I thought, well, you know, it's I want to keep this on a fairly heavy line and then split it out and blah blah blah, and so I'll just use the non-submersible feature, only to find that this piece you can actually you just rotate it and slip it off. The O-ring surrounding it is as weak as crap, and even with gravity flow water from only the height of only a couple of feet, it was leaking. And I thought, you son of a bitch. So I've tried to put an elastic band in there several times, and it wasn't even gonna, the cover wasn't even gonna fit on again, even though the elastic band was no difference to the O-ring that was in there. So I also forgot another crucial point. This pump that I originally bought it for the sole purpose of being able to empty out IBCs. It is small enough to put through the top, and I forgot all about that. And yeah, I also found I could get a T-piece that would be the right size, and although I sort of set it all up, and as per what has happened previously when I set this house up initially, I, you know, didn't, yeah, you got to do fittings tight, and I didn't do them quite tight enough, did I? So I had a lot of the fittings outside leaking, and I thought, what are we doing? Put it in there. And I remembered, yes, it can go in there, so why don't we put it in there? And if I have a leaking O-ring on the front intake, which is part of the pump, which is not replaceable because it's a cheap Chinese piece of shit, it doesn't matter, because you get like a couple dozen drips a minute, but they just go straight back into the tank instead of going on the floor. So long and short of it is, I found an appropriate T-piece splitter, which the first try I destroyed the thread because I'm going from PVC onto polyethylene. One's hard, one's soft, and screwing it on, it started to stuff the thread. I fixed the thread and then screwed it on again, and it completely destroyed the thread. So I actually needed to use a PVC tap, then male-to-male fitting, then the T-piece splitter into 2 half-inch lines. But ultimately we had to fiddle around and change a little bit there, but it's actually worked perfect. And so it just means that I don't have to worry about my stupid giant T-piece fitting with all bits and pieces that then went from a 3/4 inch T-piece to a half-inch T-piece. You know, there was a lot of bits and pieces. So I could have extra taps and stuff for the future, and oh, what a shitstorm. And of course, each time you make a join, there's a leak because I didn't actually tighten it hard enough. I could have tightened it hard enough, but it wouldn't have replaced the fact that the O-ring in the front of this pump was still shit. So, and it's just like it was going to piss on the floor anyway. So anyway, this one's coming from the actual gutter, and these two go out from the actual pump itself, and there we go right there. And the long and short of it is, I've never tried the pause feature on this phone before, but we might be doing just that, because I think I need to give you guys a demonstration. Oh yeah, by the way, I put the line filter in, and you see that one that comes in under there. Originally I had the pump coming off of that other one, which I've put a bung on now, but I've been emptying the other tank, the corrugated iron one, into here, and I damn near emptied the thing. And I was standing there and I went up there and I thought, how much is in there? I'm tapping the sides of it and it's bloody near wobbling on the stand. There was almost nothing left in it. So and there wasn't as much as I thought, because I only got to about 200 or 300 litres, and I think that's a 500 litre tank, so it mustn't have even been full. So anyway, long and short of it is, yeah, it sort of went from probably about there to, well, actually about there or thereabouts, just filling on rainwater alone. But I've got the little line filter. This is cool. It was only $8 and it's easy. You just wash them out under the tap. That's that black lump there. You got a piece and let's see. Yeah, you empty out the top piece there, like you unscrew it, and then you can pull it out and you can wash it under the tap and slip it back in. Didn't get as much shit as I thought. All there was just some mosquito larvae, and that was about it, which I knew were in the tank. I expected a bit of cypress pine crap and all that, but see, a lot of the things you might understand about water tanks, and I'll show you just to prove the point here, is that a lot of water tanks that are made, for those of you who might be in the States where rainwater isn't as big a thing, or people are scared of a bit of bird shit, but they're fine about pumping up pesticide contaminated groundwater without a problem and drinking that. See, it never actually sits on the bottom, so any of your shit will build up in the bottom inch or whatever and won't actually come out. And if you see, like I've got in my big tank, actually the area where it leads into this, like it'll be, if you look in the top of this, there'll be a circle around this fitting where the leaves have been sucked through, but all the rest will have shit all in the bottom. This one was bought in 1994, so there's got to be a lot of shit in this one. It's never had a proper flush. People rarely do proper flushes on them, but it is known on occasion that some people do. Anyway, while the kitty's sharpening her claws on a bit of firewood as standard, I might hit pause on this. I'll kick the generator over and we'll fire it up, and I'll show you the sort of flow I'm getting. It's not as powerful as being directly from it, but you got to realise that we go from a 3/4 inch line on a short hose, which it originally was with quite a bit of power. That was, you know, how I used to originally use it to empty IBCs and piss around, a transfer between IBCs. And we've gone from that to 2 1/2 inch lines, then ran it through quite a distance, basically from here right through into there. And then it goes from 2 3/4 inches, 2 1/2 inches back into a 3/4 inch. When it's a T-piece too, it's literally a T-piece. So it's squirt, and the two streams are actually hitting each other before they go into a 3/4 inch line. So that you sort of lose a bit of your sheer power from just the way it's designed. You can't get the Y-shaped fittings, which fucking shits me. There's a lot of fittings you can't get, which I damn well wish you could get. But anyway, I might go ahead on this and we'll fire this thing up. So anyway, you can probably hear the generator going in the background. The pump itself is surprisingly quiet. We're currently pumping into this one here, but she's not too bad a flow. It's not as strong as it was, but I mean, you know, definitely it is at least 2 1/2 inch lines running, and I'm basically about to overflow the damn thing here, so I better leave it at that. And yeah, we finally have success in the form of a decent speed of fill.